Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original series Shadow and Bone, Season 2, based on the much loved books. Were you a fan of the original season of this, or did you prefer the books? I liked it the first season, but I did prefer the books, so I went in tentatively kind of going, okay, maybe this will be better. Let's discuss. Alina Starkov is on the run, a beacon of hope to some and a suspected traitor to others. She determines to bring down the Shadowfold and save Ravka from ruin, but General Kirigan has returned to finish what he started, backed by a terrifying new army of seemingly indestructible shadow monsters and fearsome new Grisha recruits. So there's 8 episodes ranging from about 45 minutes to over an hour, and here's the thing about season 2. I think it's gonna split fans. For me, I actually really loved season 2. I feel like it's much stronger. I have read the books, but I've read the original trilogy, but I haven't read the Crows. And this is what's different. They're mixing in the Crows storyline into this series. They're also picking bits of season 3, book 3, and putting it in this season. So there's an amalgamation of storyline. They're doing their own thing. That's kind of what you need to know going into this second season, is that it's generally going to be similar if you've read the books to what the characters and what they're doing. The storyline will follow most of those plots that you come to expect it to. It might be much quicker than you're expecting it to be. That's not to say it feels rushed. I feel like the pacing is really interesting and fun. It keeps it going. It even starts off a bit slow, reintroducing us to characters and where they are. And that's because we have multiple tangents of storylines to kind of thread together, and they do that really well. It takes about 3-4 episodes to kind of build that storyline with where our characters are, what the Crows are up to. The Crows get tasked with a specific thing that's going to inform the end of the series, and they're on an adventure, and there's a couple of, I guess, relationships that fans of the books will know that they'll be expecting to happen, and that kind of creeps into the first few episodes and establishing new characters. Louis Tan is also a character that we haven't seen yet, but one of my favorite actors when it comes to martial arts and action, and that's a big step up this time round. The action set pieces, wherever they are, whether it's in the sky, on a floating ship, or on the ocean, on a ship, or in these new sets that they've created, really feels fantastical in nature. Big set pieces occasionally, but the hand-to-hand combat and choreography is so fun to watch. And when you get those action set pieces, you feel like you've earned it, because they've spent quite a few episodes on building our characters and story, bringing everything to a massive crescendo head. When you get to episode 7 and 8, you're really going to not want to stop watching. You're going to click over to the next episode. My wife and I watched the second season in 3 sittings, and that's only because we had to go to bed. We were like, oh, we're going to be tired in the morning, we better stop now. It did take me a little bit of a while to get back into what was going on with these characters. It's been 2 years, so you may even want to go back and watch the last episode of season 1 to kind of do a refresher. Maybe watch the whole season if you have time. If not, watch the last 20 minutes of the last episode, kind of give you an understanding of what has happened. Alina Starkov, getting the stag, what happened with Mel, what happened with the Darkling, because that's all very much the main arc this time round. Now, I could say that it feels like they could end it here on season 2, and that'll be a surprise to most of, I guess, the people that have read the books and go, wait, aren't they doing that third book? It's a really weird amalgamation, like I mentioned at the beginning, of what they've done with the storyline, mixing in that Crow's story, mixing in it, combining some of the stories from book 3 to maybe not needing a season 3. However, they have left many tangents of storylines where they could possibly do a third one. Stories, I think, from the Crow books and bits that they haven't included to maybe give us a season 3. I think what they're doing, because Netflix cancels so many and they never know what's going to hit or what's going to miss, they've given us a really good conclusion to the story that they've been crafting for 4 years now, I guess. And that'll be satisfying, but also if it gets picked up again, there's a lot more to continue with. So I think you'll be somewhat satisfied with where it goes. Like I said, the action set pieces are great. What makes it is because you've earned those moments because of the character building. And that comes down to the characters and the actors giving off the dialogue that they've been given well enough. But it also comes to set pieces, the art design, the clothing, all of that is really good and places you in that fantasy element that you've been wanting to watch. I wasn't sure at the beginning of episode 1, but at the end of episode 1, I was back in the world between the score and the acting, the characters that we come to know and love, and that's coming from someone that loves the trilogy. I have a lot of time for this series now. I will say that I preferred second season much more. I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Let me know your thoughts down below. Who is your favorite character? I think you're going to be surprised about the longevity of some of the characters that you weren't expecting to stick around, but also that there are consequences for the characters you've come to know and love. Just because it's in the book doesn't mean that character might not be changed some way. You just kind of have to let them do their own thing. And if you can't do that, then you won't enjoy it. But for me, I loved both. I can live with both. There are many different books of adaptations that have their own thing, but are also equally as good as their own thing, because TV is a different medium. And so I really appreciate how they put this together. I'm loving what we've got. Not everything was perfect for me, and some characters, I don't want to mention them by name, but I think some you will think have acted really well. Some not delivering quite like I would personally like sometimes the emotional intensity is not there for the situation that our characters find themselves in, just the way they've either been directed or delivering the lines themselves. But for the most part, this was really entertaining, really fun. 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. Don't forget to check out our other content with our Patreon that we do with Movies and Munchies. Every week we do the best thing we watched with a Patreon. That is on our channels now. Live long and Tuesday.